Welcome to Divine Therapy Inc. Before we embark on this profound journey of reclamation, I want you to find a place of absolute stillness. This is a story for anyone who has ever felt that they were being driven by a thirst that could not be quenched. Whether your struggle is with the pull of alcohol, the dopamine rush of a screen, the temporary comfort of a substance, or even the subtle addiction to approval and noise, this story is a sanctuary for you. Today, we are not going to talk about shame, for shame is a cold wind that only makes us shiver and hide. Instead, we are going to talk about truth, for truth is the sun that allows the soul to thaw. Find your breath. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. You are safe. You are loved. You are entering the story of a man named Thomas and the golden cup of salt. Thomas lived in a city made of marble and mirrors. It was a place where everyone was constantly moving, constantly achieving, and constantly looking for the next great thrill. But underneath the beauty of the city, there was a secret ache. The people were perpetually thirsty. To solve this, a merchant had arrived years ago selling beautiful, heavy, golden cups. These cups were filled with a liquid that looked like liquid sunshine, a shimmering, amber glow that promised to bring joy, confidence, and total relaxation. The merchant called it the elixir of the instant. Thomas bought his first cup when he was a young man. At first, it felt like magic. When he drank from the golden cup, his social anxiety vanished. He felt like the smartest man in the room. The shadows of his past, the memories of not feeling good enough, and the fears of the future all seemed to dissolve into a warm, golden haze. He felt he had found the shortcut to happiness. He thought he had found the missing piece of his soul. But there was a catch that Thomas did not notice in the beginning. Every time he finished a cup, the back of his throat felt slightly more parched than before. The more he drank to satisfy his thirst, the more the thirst grew. As years passed, Thomas became a slave to the cup. He stopped drinking clear, mountain water. He stopped eating nourishing food. He spent all his gold and all his time chasing the merchant for the next fill. He began to realize that the liquid in the cup was not sunshine at all. It was water so heavily saturated with salt that it was actually pulling the life out of his cells. The golden cup was a trick. It was a cycle of dehydration disguised as a cure for thirst. His skin became pale, his eyes lost their sparkle, and his relationships began to crumble. When he wasn't drinking, he was thinking about the next drink. When he was drinking, he was grieving the person he used to be. He was a prisoner in a palace of salt. One night, Thomas sat alone in his room, looking at the bottom of his empty cup. He realized that the cup had stolen his memories. He couldn't remember the last time he watched a sunset without needing the elixir to enhance it. He couldn't remember the last time he felt a real, honest emotion that wasn't filtered through the golden haze. He felt like a hollow shell. He looked into a mirror and saw a stranger. He realized that the addiction was not just a habit, it was a thief that had stolen his identity and replaced it with a craving. In his despair, Thomas threw the golden cup out of his window. He watched it fall into the darkness, expecting to feel a sense of relief. Instead, he felt a wave of absolute terror. He realized he didn't know how to live without the cup. His body began to tremble. His mind began to scream for the salt. This is the moment where the healing begins, but it is also the hardest moment. It is the moment where the soul has to decide if it wants to be comfortable in a cage or uncomfortable in freedom. Thomas walked out of the city of mirrors and began to head toward the great mountains. He had heard stories of a well at the base of the highest peak, the well of the first breath. It was said that the water there didn't taste like sunshine, it tasted like nothing at all. It was simple, pure, and life-giving. But the journey was long, and Thomas's body was weak from years of salt. For the first 7 days, he felt like he was dying. Every cell in his body was crying out for the golden elixir. He saw mirages of the merchant on every corner. He heard voices telling him that he was too far gone, that his brain was ruined, and that he should just go back to the city. But Thomas remembered a secret the master of the well had once whispered. The craving is not a command, it is just a weather pattern. You are the mountain, and the craving is just a storm passing over you. The mountain does not move because the wind blows. The mountain simply waits. Thomas began to use his breath as an anchor. Every time the urge for the salt became unbearable, he would sit down, close his eyes, and count his breaths. 1, 2, 3. He realized that if he could just survive the next 10 minutes, the wave would crash and recede. He learned that he was stronger than the wave. On the 14th day, Thomas reached the well of the first breath. He was exhausted, dusty, and his throat was a desert. He lowered the wooden bucket into the deep, dark earth. When it came back up, the water was so clear it was almost invisible. He took his first sip. It didn't give him a rush of confidence. It didn't make him feel like a king. It simply felt right. It felt like his cells were finally being allowed to breathe. For the first time in a decade, the fire in his throat went out. He sat by the well for many days, drinking the pure water and letting the salt wash out of his system. As the salt left his body, Thomas noticed a miracle. His senses began to return. He could smell the pine needles on the wind. He could hear the sound of a distant hawk. He could feel the texture of the stone beneath his feet. He realized that the golden elixir hadn't been enhancing his life, it had been numbing it. It had been a wall between him and the beauty of the divine world. He realized that the flatness he feared in sobriety was actually a canvas where he could finally paint a real life. He returned to the city of mirrors, but he didn't go back to his old home. He walked to the center of the square where the merchant was still selling the golden cups. Thomas stood in front of the crowd. He didn't shout. He didn't judge. He simply held up a jar of the clear mountain water. He said, "The cup is a lie. It promises to quench your thirst, but it is the source of your thirst. True power is not found in the glow of the cup, it is found in the clarity of the soul." If you are listening to this today, and you are holding your own golden cup, whether it is a bottle, a pill, a screen, or a habit, I want you to know that we see your thirst. We know that you didn't start drinking from the cup because you were bad, you started because you were hurting. You were looking for a way to quiet the noise and find a moment of peace. But the cup has become your master, and it is time to take your life back. Imagine yourself now, standing at the edge of that city of mirrors. See the golden cup in your hand. Feel how heavy it has become. Notice how much of your gold and your time it has cost you. Now, imagine yourself letting it go. You don't have to throw it, just open your hand and let it fall. It is okay to be afraid. It is okay to feel the thirst. That thirst is the sound of your body waking up. Take a deep, cleansing breath. Inhale the clear air of the mountains. Exhale the salt of the past. You are not a broken person, you are a person in the process of being purified. Your brain is a magnificent, self-healing instrument. Every day you choose the clear water over the salt, your neural pathways are reknitting themselves. You are regaining your memories. You are regaining your joy. You are regaining yourself. At Divine Therapy Inc., we believe in your ability to reach the well of the first breath. The journey is 21 days to start, and a lifetime to enjoy. Do not look at the whole mountain. Just look at the next 10 minutes. Just look at the next breath. You are the master of your thirst. You are the keeper of your clarity. Stay in the space of sobriety for a moment longer. Feel the cool, clear water of truth washing through your mind. See your future self, vibrant, clear-eyed, and free. You are no longer a slave to the merchant. You are a child of the light. Thank you for trusting us with your recovery. You are doing the hardest and most beautiful work in the world. Until next time, stay in the clarity and remain in the light.